The Muay Sena emblem. The origins of the Muay Sena emblem can be traced to the development of the art itself. While it is true that the system is the result of a lifetime of experience on the part of its founder, Sena, the actual codifications for the art began to manifest in 2012. It was then when Sena first began drafting ideas and designs for his emblem by hand, drawing inspiration from the arts which influenced his fighting methods. The first rendition of the emblem was a bit different than the one we know today, with perhaps its most striking difference being its blue color. Other notable differences included the Thai words which made reference to the triphasic theory of combat, the conceptual basis of the combatives aspect of the art. As the system further developed, the concepts and objectives of the art began to evolve into a more holistic approach to not just combat, but to life itself. Initially, the 3 points of the triangle consisted of different phases of combat, specifically, 1. Tana, representing the standing phase of combat in which the combatants are not in prolonged physical contact with one another. 2. Blam, representing the clinching phase of combat in which the combatants are engaged in prolonged corporeal contact with one another. Here the fighters are remaining contiguous long enough for the engagement to be considered stand-up grappling. 3. Pundin, representing the ground phase of combat in which one or both of the combatants are fighting from the ground position. In 2019, after many years of study and practice of Theravada Buddhism, Sena decided that his system must include teachings other than just combatives and self-defense. Accordingly, the emblem which represents the art must reflect this progression beyond fighting techniques, principles and concepts. Sena began by first removing the word combatives from the emblem. Next he changed the Thai words to accurately represent the 3 areas of focus which have come define the system. Specifically, the art of Muay Sena consists of 3 synergistic and complementary areas of study. These are, 1. Yat, this word comes from the Sanskrit word yudha, which means fighting. This connotes the combatives and self-defense aspects of Muay Sena. 2. Muay, derived from the Sanskrit word mavi, which means to bind something together, as if by string or other means. This represents the teachings of the traditional unarmed combat methods Thailand, both ancient and modern, as well as the accompanying non-combative aspects of these arts which are transmitted in the Muay Sena curriculum. 3. Tam, from the Sanskrit word dharma, known in the Pali language as Dhamma. These are their teachings of the Buddha. This nomenclature also encompasses a reference to all conditioned phenomenon in this realm of existence. This aspect of the art represents its most important teachings, the development of mindful wisdom, satipana, and the pursuit of self-actualization through voluntary adherence to the training of the sitter. This aspect of the art is the pinnacle of skill development, which informs the progression of the Muay Sena exponent. In addition to the change of the words that represented the art, the color also underwent a radical change, going from blue to a blood red. The deep red color represents the blood spilled in the development of the art, both that Sena as well as those he has engaged in combat. The gold represents the value of teachings of the Dhamma and the progenitor arts, as well the singular experience gained by Sena which allowed him to develop such a unique system. Another important element which was added to the emblem are the heads of the Naga, which occupy the east and the west position on the perimeter facing inwards. Nagas are powerful supernatural serpent beings found in Indian traditions which have made their way into Thai culture. Naga are the equivalent of dragons, creatures which almost every ancient people on planet Earth have said to have existed and brought advanced wisdom and knowledge to humanity. The Naga are said to be one of the 8 divinities and guardians of Buddhism despite their existence in the underworld of Paitala, Thai, Buddhan, which is said to be deep under the oceans. Besides the aforementioned alterations to the Muay Sena emblem, the core design remained the same. Beginning with the outside and moving in, we first notice the sacred geometry which forms the corpus of the emblem. From a structural standpoint, the emblem is in the shape of a circle which represents the Mongkol, from the Sanskrit mandala pattern. There are 3 concentric circles incorporated into the emblem, their sacred number in Muay Sena. This circular design has a number of meanings. Here we see it representing protection and power, an unbroken series of concentric rings encapsulating the contents of the emblem. Within the outermost concentric circles Muay Sena is written in using the Roman alphabet on the top, and in the Thai script on the bottom. Next we notice a number of triangles, which are significant to the art in a number of ways. A reoccurring theme in the art of Muay Sena is categories and theories divided into 3 parts, such as the earlier described 3 areas of practice and other aspects of the system such as the triphasic theory, triadic theory, etc. The number 3 is significant for several reasons, most notably as it represents the 3 refuges or triple gems which are known in Pali as Tiratana. The triple gems are as follows: 1. Buddha, the supreme teacher who elucidated the 4 noble truths to humanity. 2. Dhamma, the teachings that the Buddha shared with humanity. 3. Sangha, the order of monks who carry on the teachings of the Dhamma. The triangle also pays homage to an important element of the combatives aspect of the system, which is Gracie, Brazilian, Jiu-Jitsu. In the center of the Muay Sena emblem is the Yin Yang symbol, also known as Jitu, surrounded by circling arrows. Many martial artists will know this as the symbol of Jeet Kune Do, the conceptual art of Bruce Lee. Krunik studied Lee's concepts at great length and incorporates many of the teachings into his system. The Yin Yang symbol itself represents the interplay of duality that can be found in all worldly affairs. The duality which characterizes human existence was perhaps best described in the Lokavipatti Sutta. Here we can find teachings of the Athaloka Dhamma, meaning the 8 worldly conditions, in which the Buddha identified the following 8 opposing conditions in 4 pairs that every human being will experience in their existence. The 8 worldly conditions are: 1. Labha, gain; 2. Alabha, loss; 3. Yasa, fame; 4. Ayasa, disrepute; 5. Prasamsa, praise; 6. Ninda, criticism; 7. Sukha, happiness; 8. Dukkha, suffering. The arrows are meant to signify the cycle of samsara and the dynamic and impermanent nature of all conditioned phenomenon. These are known as Sankara in the Pali language of Theravada Buddhism. In Muay Sena this symbol also represents the 3 characteristics of existence which were identified by the Buddha in the Anattalakkhana Sutta of the Pali Canon. The 3 characteristics of all Sankara are as follows: 1. Anicca, all conditioned phenomena are impermanent and uncertain; 2. Dukkha, all conditioned phenomena are characterized by suffering and discontent; 3. Anatta, because every moment brings change, there is no self to be found. Above the center design of the Yin Yang is Thai script which reads, Muay, which can be translated as boxing or fighting methods. Below the Yin Yang symbol is the word, Sena, which is the last name of the system's